I used to be one of those people who would say cyberbullying doesn't exist. If you feel like you're getting cyberbullied, well, just turn off the computer. Log out of the account that you feel like you're getting quote unquote cyberbullied on, and don't log back in, or just flat out delete the account that you feel like you're getting cyberbullied on. And I would partake in cyberbullying quite a bit myself. I used to raid Discord servers in my free time. Yeah, very valuable usage of my time, I know. And I would say rather egregious things, we'll leave it at that, about people who I didn't particularly like or just thought was annoying on the internet. Basically, I was one of those people who would say anything about anyone so long as I had the safety of a monitor and a keyboard. And I was very toxic and ignorant in those days, and I have tried my damnedest sense to apologize to many people who are at the receiving end of my shitty actions and shitty behavior. And a lot of that even went down on this channel. I used to do the fan base bashing videos, videos that unquestionably led to even more bullying of people within the fan bases that those videos targeted. I would cherry pick comments from people who were probably more toxic than 99.9% of the fan base that they were a part of, but I would still plaster it on video, and I would say in those videos, well, I don't think that all the fan base is like this. Hell, I think even most of the fan base isn't like this. It's just that the sector of people are toxic, and I'm choosing to put a spotlight on those people. But I'm sure that fell on deaf ears, and people still use those videos as justification to keep targeting the people within those fan bases, and just further harass and bully the people that are in those fan bases because, oh knows, they chose to like something that is completely harmless and be themselves. And I even used to make videos towards specific people under the guise of, well, it's just a video response, bro, it's just criticism, nothing more, nothing less. But in reality, those videos were just me punching down, because a lot of the times the people I would make videos on were people with no fan base whatsoever, and I would send my fan base after those people because how dare they say anything mean about me or make a mean video about me. And basically, I would just bully these people because a lot of the times they were just kids that didn't really know any better, and I really should have just let it roll off my back, but instead I chose to use my platform to harass those people and bully those people. And I've been told by various people who I've horribly treated on the internet in the past to cut this shit out, stop being such an asshole towards me, please leave me alone, and that was a cue for me to keep going, keep pressing them even more, go harder. And I'm not trying to make any justifications for my actions. I'm not trying to excuse this whatsoever, but I was an edgelord and I loved getting off of the idea that I was pushing this person's buttons. I loved that I was bothering this person. Because for the longest time, I was nothing like that in real life. I was the quiet kid in school. People would call me the quiet kid. I didn't like that. And then I would go on the internet after school, be all tough and mean to people who I felt were easy targets. And then that kind of seeped into my real life because, as you all know, I started treating people horribly in the 10th grade, acting all funny and edgy to other people, but having other people be at the receiving end of that, and they really didn't like it, told me to cut it out, but I just kept going. And it wasn't until just a year ago I realized how shitty of a person I was, and I've tried to stop that in my real life, and now I'm trying my damnedest to stop that on the internet, and I think I've been succeeding because I'd like to think I've been treating people nicer on the internet these days. I always liked using Leafius here as an example of why cyberbullying exists. He used to make videos about kids, disabled people, and in one case, or in multiple cases I think, he made a video about an autistic person, and then said autistic person made a follow-up video crying about all the harassment he was receiving from Leafy's fanbase. Should he just delete his account? He just made a harmless video that Leafy chose to be at the receiving end of his scrutiny, and then his fan base went after him, swarmed his comments, saying the nastiest shit, kill yourself, calling him slurs, all of that, and the person was autistic. He couldn't handle it. And to be honest, I think most people, disabled or not, wouldn't be able to handle all of that hate, because we're just not hardwired to process millions of people going after us, saying the nastiest shit in mass. I'm sure that would bring any person down, even the toughest of people. I used to say, well, I'm used to scrutiny. I'm used to being called every name in the book. I mean, look at my infinite list comment section, for God's sakes. But that video only has 11,000 views. I've never been at the receiving end of a fucking 4 million plus YouTuber scrutiny, so I really wouldn't know how that was like, how that would be like, I mean. It's just not comparable at all, and I can't pretend to know what that situation is like, and honestly, I hope to never know what that situation is like, and thank God Leafy was fucking banned. But that aside, just brushing that off and turning off the computer isn't so fucking simple when so many people are after you. So many people are saying the worst shit about you. It isn't just a few stupid fucks on the internet you could easily ignore and block. These are fucking thousands upon thousands of people saying the same fucking thing about you. Kill yourself, slurs out the ass, any fucking egregious thing you could imagine being said to you on the internet. There is another YouTuber who I deem even worse called Calvin Guerra. He's basically the trans male version of Blair White. He would make videos about certain people within the trans community, say they don't pass because, oh no, they're a trans man, and they may portray more feminine character traits, or they're a trans woman, and they may portray more masculine character traits, or they're non-binary, they're not valid, they're just quote-unquote trenders. You know, basically denigrate these people, say they're not valid, and basically just shit on their identities. And then he would send his toxic fucking fan base after these people. They would receive non-stop harassment, be told out the ass that they are not valid, they're just pretending to be trans, they're quote-unquote trenders. And it has led a lot of these people who are at the receiving end of Calvin's scrutiny to near suicide. And these were just people who simply wanted to be who they wanted to be. Identified the way they chose to identify because they felt that was themselves. And that somehow prompted so much harassment their way, so much bullying their way, all because, again, they just simply wanted to be them fucking selves. Should those people have simply just turned off the computer, logged out of their accounts, or delete their accounts? No, because they did fucking nothing wrong, unless you see expressing who you are on the internet as some kind of crime. But all in all, these people were just simply being who they wanted to be online, expressing themselves, harming no one, and then all of a sudden some asshole made a video on them, and then sent their toxic audience their way, and now they're receiving death threats, having the most heinous shit said to them. They did nothing to prompt this, so why do they have to be the ones to scrub their internet presence? Why doesn't the aggressor get any criticism? Why do they have to get off scot-free? Oh, just because the internet is the wild, wild west. Oh, if you can't handle some people saying mean things about you, just get off the internet. Why do we have to normalize such toxic behavior? Why can't we just say, this is fucked up, this person should stop doing this shit, should stop sending their audience towards people with little to no following whatsoever, and just punch down and drive these people to near suicide? Why should we just sit by and let shit like that happen? What is so wrong with making the internet a more inclusive and safe space for marginalized people to express themselves the way they want to, because they may not have such a space at their homes or anywhere else in their real life, so they turn to the internet to express themselves the way they choose to, because they feel that is who they really are? I mean, I never understood this. Why do we have to normalize such awful behavior towards these kinds of people? Just because your interactions with another person may just be online and you may never meet these people in real life, that doesn't make their feelings any less valid. That doesn't make the words you say to them any less scathing, because you don't know the kind of person you're speaking to. They may be a more sensitive person that may take the words you say to them, the more heinous words you may say to them, more to heart and more personally, and they may feel hurt by your words, but oh, it's just the internet. Who fucking cares what they think? Who fucking cares how they feel? I'm never gonna meet them, so why should I care? Your words can have real-world consequences. It could hurt a person in ways you couldn't even fucking imagine it would. It could push them to do things you wouldn't even fucking imagine them doing. You never know the kind of person you're speaking to online, and the kind of problems they may be facing in their personal lives. That nasty thing you told them online could have been the very same thing they're told constantly by real-world bullies, or even their families, or anyone else in their day-to-day lives, and they may have went to the internet to seek some sort of refuge and provide themselves with some kind of escape, or even find someone to confide in, because they may not have such a person in their day-to-day lives, but instead they ran into you, an absolute douchebag who helped make them feel even worse about themselves, possibly, and who knows what could happen as a result of that. But no, it's the internet, everyone's an asshole, grow thicker skin. Okay, cool, keep being an unempathetic douchebag, that's your prerogative, and probably nothing I could say is going to sway you, but hopefully some of you out there took in what I said or already agree with me, who knows, but yeah, that's just my 2 cents. I think cyberbullying is real now, and I am not the ignorant douchebag that I once was a few years ago. That's all I have to say. Bye bye.